All right, so this is going to be the second part of my previous video, and the goal here is to continue the development of a script that can automate the process of uploading videos into YouTube. So if you're watching this and you haven't watched the first video, you'll need to go back and watch the first video so that it makes more sense. These videos are labeled with part 1, part 2, so you could always kind of look for the exact same title, put part 1, and you should be able to find it. If not, go to the playlist and you should be able to find it. In fact, that reminds me, I need to start putting the playlist link in the bottom of these descriptions. So with that, let's just continue the process. Okay, so here's the steps that we got so far. So first of all, I use Loom in order to download videos. Loom in order to record videos. So I need to download these videos from Loom. I'm going to put them in this particular folder. I normally copy the pre-written prompt that I've come up with over the course of a week and a half or 2 weeks, and all this does is just helps me to just copy and paste this into YouTube. Why does it give me this more? Really, Microsoft? So, and this allows me to just take this, put it in the text, and then paste the transcript below, and then it'll give me some title and description. And then the goal is to paste that transcript into, description, and then get a YouTube, upload a video to YouTube. So the goal is now to take this and then make a script out of it using Chat GPT in order to do the entire process without having to write code or even knowing the YouTube API, which I do not know at all. Never done it before. Now the real question is, what language should I do this in? And I'm a .NET guy by heart. I tend to write code a lot in C#. I feel like this should be a C# thing, but I'm not going to write it in C# because that's what I know. I'm going to write it in Python, which seems to be the go-to for all this type of stuff. Now, I don't necessarily know if this is the best thing to do, but nonetheless, we'll do it. And just to be clear, I'm not a Python guy by any single means. So, there's just going to be a lot of mistakes in this particular process because I actually don't know. I don't even know if I have Python running on my computer. So we'll find out. All right. So that's that. So let's jump right into the details. So first of all, how would we download a video from Loom? And can we download it? So I'm not going to work on that part yet. What I'll do is I'll basically have the Python script running in the background. So now the question is, I want something to monitor this folder so that they could pick up videos that were inserted into that folder. That's my first thing. I also wanted to add one other thing here, which is to basically then copy the video to the correct folder for organization's sake, because I don't want to have a bunch of videos just dropped into that folder. I'd like to copy it into the folder. You know what? I'll do that after I upload it. How about? So therefore, I have a very clean process of knowing that the video was successfully uploaded, because at the end, that's when I'm going to copy it into the right folder. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So let's do that. Let's do that as the steps. So, okay, so these are the steps. Now, why is this font look? Sorry, this is just my OCD here. 18. Right, okay, so first things first, we're going to figure out, can Python actually monitor a folder on a Windows computer or desktop? I don't know. So let's find out. So let's go at Chat GPT. Okay, so Mr. Chat GPT, you know what? I kind of don't want to use up my credits on the GPT-4, but I want to use the new stuff. Like, this is the battle of the technology gods here. Okay. So what do we ask the question? So, Mr. GPT, is it possible? Let's just write that. Let's leave to Mr. GPT. Is it to write that will monitor a Windows folder and execute when a new file is added to the folder? That's the question that I want to answer first. Yes, of course it's possible. Script monitoring, blah, 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 Windows folder, execution, file added. You can use the watchdog library to monitor changes in the folder. First, you'll need to install the library, pip install, blah, 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 blah. Do a watchdog on the file system, run on file system, execution path, self-directory created, Python script, execute folder. Okay, so it's giving me some code here, which is I've never really used. No, so the real question is, how do I get this to run every time the computer starts? So let's answer that question first, right? So here, so if they, okay, so you specify the folder path thing, and then we're gonna test this because we're gonna do this one by one, make sure that we got all the pieces in place. Replace the folder path with your own, save the script and run it. It will monitor, specify folder, execute. So now the question is, how can I have this run every time I reboot my computer? Run in the background. To have the script run in the background every time you reboot your computer, you can create the scheduled task in Windows folder. Save the Python script you've created to a file called example monitor.py. Create a plain text. Create a new plain text file with the following content and save it as a bat. So echo off. Okay, so I need to create a bat file. Python. What is that? 2 ampersand. This is a Windows thing. I don't know what that 2 greater than ampersand. Replace the Python folder with the actual path of your folder thing. Press Windows R, type task manager. Create a basic task, right hand, monitor the folder. Whenever the computer starts to trigger your task, choose start program. Click browse and select. Next, choose start program as the action to perform. Click next. I see. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, great. So let's just do this. Now the question is, how do I get Python running? I think I have Python installed. Let's find out. So let's find out. So let's go to the desktop just to keep it simple. Why do we have so many icons on our desktop? Delete. I don't have desktop icons. I hate desktop icons. I shouldn't use the word hate. I dislike desktop icons. So we're going to put it on our desktop just because I'm just trying to make this simple for things. So the Python script, sorry. So Python automation. Right. And open up. Let's do CMD. Just makes it code. So this will just get me Visual Studio Code. I'll have some kind of videos on that later on if that makes sense, or people need to see any tutorials around that. Yes, authorize. Okay, so what did this thing tell me to do? I'm pretty certain I have Python installed, so I'm not going to go through that process. So pip watch. So pip. So let's find out first of all if we even have pip. Pip. Yeah, got something. Fantastic. pip-vrsion. Okay, so we're cooking. So I need to copy this, bring it over here. What are we going to name it? We're going to name it YouTube Automation. No, YouTube Auto Uploader. .py Python. Paste. Fantastic. Save. Control tilde to bring up the menu at the bottom. Go back over here, and then we need to do pip install watchdog. Pip install watchdog. could not install the package on an OS error. The system cannot find but install. Okay, first error. So let's copy this. Here's where ChatGPT 4 comes in handy. It's obviously telling me that I can't install this particular thing. So I said, okay, I tried that. This is cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do Control Enter and I'm gonna paste this. It looks like there might be an issue with your Python installation or environment. Here are a few suggestions. So make sure you have administrative privileges to run the prompt shell. Okay, run as administrator. Then try installing the watchdog again. It seems like there's an individual invalid distribution. P with your site package folder. So to fix this, navigate to your site packages folder. In this case, it's your CLI libraries, and delete the folder name IP or similar. Then try installing Watchdog again. If the buffer solution doesn't work, consider using the virtual environment to create an isolated Python environment. This can help to avoid conflicts with system-wide Python installation. Here's how to create and use a virtual environment. So pip install virtual environment, navigate path to your project, create virtual environment, activate the virtual. But then how would I run the virtual environment on startup? Does it automatically do that every time? I don't know. After setting up the virtual environment. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. It actually gives you the answer and how to do it after the fact. Okay, so let's do the simple version first, and if not, then we'll do the virtual environment thingy, because that gets more complex, right? So what did it say to do? Right, navigate to this folder. Explore. No, go away. Right. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So it says to navigate to the site folder and delete the folder name IP. This guy here. I think. Yeah. No other folder like that, right? Yes, okay, and then we're going to try running as an elevated privilege. So we're going to do CMD, run as administrator. Yes. Should be terminal we should be running in. Why are we using this thing? Terminal. Oh, but how do I run terminal as an administrator? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to take me there. Then we're going to try pip install power watchdog again. Requirements satisfied. Okay. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. So what do we have to do now? So we have to run the script. So how do you run the script again? I think it's like Python. Like I said, I'm not a Python guy. YouTube. Auto.py. I think that's how you run it. But before we do that, we need to go find the folder that we're trying to monitor. This one. We're going to paste that here. Folder path, execution path, Path to your script. Okay, so the path to the Python script. So we put that on the desktop here. And then here. And I'm not certain why you have to put the path to the Python script, but it doesn't really matter. We trust GPT, don't we? Copy and paste random code to our computer. Should be fine. What could go wrong? So with that, let's run this. I'm sorry, what is it complaining about now? I don't even know what this is saying. I don't even know what this is saying. So, wait, what? Oh, you know what? I think it's because we don't have escape characters on the slashes, maybe. I'm gonna just make a guess here, because sometimes this is a thing. You have to escape the slashes, I think. Let's find out. Ha! I do know something about programming. Okay, so hang on, where's my loom? Is my loom still going? Yeah, okay, still going. So yeah, okay, so yeah, so I think we got a folder. We got something running, that's for sure. Right? So I think when I did that split screen, loom got messed up, so that's why you're not seeing my face anymore. So okay, so let's see if this thing is gonna work by, let's hide this. Let's bring this up a little bit. It's monitoring the folder. So in theory, if I right click, oh no, not here, here, and here. If I right click and I add a new file, don't even have to do anything. There we go. Bam. Right, new text file added. Okay, so that's step number 1. All right, you know what? We're gonna do this in multiple steps because I'll just try to keep the videos a little bit short. So with that, we now have successfully, we've successfully been able to monitor, not download, but at least monitor the folder, right? That's what we've done. Where is it? Yeah, we've monitored the found folder. Actually, you know what? Funny thing is I don't even have that in the list. So monitor for downloaded file. Right? So that's what I just did. It's funny, I didn't even have that on the list. So monitor folder for downloaded file. So that's number 1. So in the next video, what we're gonna do is we're going to come up with a way to submit the transcript to Chat GPT, right? So it means we need to learn about Chat GPT API. It means we need to learn about how to push data to Chat GPT. There's a few things that we need to learn, so we'll do that in the next video. I think that's a good way to break it up. All right, thanks.